Hello and welcome to the follow-up. I am standing in the service lane of Tom Wood Lexus, which is part of the Tom Wood Automotive Group, servicing 13 OEMs across 3 different states. And today I have the privilege of speaking with Bart Schlosser, who is a general manager of Tom Wood Lexus, along with Bill Demaree, who is the group fixed operations director for the entire organization. We're going to talk about UVeye, the impact that we're making not only at the Lexus location, but across all their group locations. Bart, Bill, thank you again for joining me today. Tom Wood Automotive locally is well respected, especially the communities you serve in Indianapolis and Kentucky and Minnesota. But I also have friends across the country that speak highly of the organization. I'd love to know what makes Tom Wood Automotive a special place to work and also to do business with.
Yeah, I'll speak to that as a group. I think it's all about our core values, and what really stands us apart from our competition is that, and we're really proud of those. We hire and fire by those core values, and we run all of our businesses that way. And these core values, I'm going to tell you, 5 years ago, you could have went down to our group and said, "Hey, what's our core values?" You may or may not got an answer. About 2.5 years ago, as a leadership team, we spent 2 days reevaluating all of our core values, and it's really cool how we did it. All of the leadership around the group and said, what is it about that person that is a core value that we live by? And we wrote their names down, and we had a huge list, and we developed these core values around the current leaderships that we have in our businesses, and it really made it special. And the way we wrote them was very intentional. I think you need driven. We're a car company, right? So we added passionately driven. We want those that are just passionate about this business to be driven to really run our organization. And integrity has got to be in every core value, right? So we put uncompromising integrity in there. And I think it brings a whole new meaning. It really brings it to the level of, I really have to do that because that's what's right to do. Sincere desire to help others. You have to have that. We have our technicians, we have our salespeople. We need to really help each individual to bring them up and elevate them so we can continue to have more and more employees grow within our organization. And with that comes humbly confident. We want confidence, but, kind of humble down a little bit and really run our businesses.
Makes sense. That's why you guys are so well respected across the country. Bart, just a question for you. So we've had Atlas Light here behind you installed for about 4 months now. So I'd love to get your feedback on the impact we're having and maybe some processes along the way that have changed or starting to change as well.
Right. Yeah. When it comes to the processes that need to be taking place, it's a constant evolution. And it's happening every single day. We know that this machine behind us creates a lot of efficiencies that we don't even recognize right now. And one of the quick things that we found out is that we're a dealer tire store. We have a dealer tire rep on our service drive working on the drive. They also have a partnership with Dent Wizard. And so we took that partnership, expanded it. And so now our dealer tire rep, which was a tire, is now identifying PDR because of this wonderful technology. And now we found a revenue stream that, all of a sudden we're almost at capacity. I mean, we are running as fast as we can. And so here we are, we're developing processes, but as we're developing processes, having to develop even further so we can find even more out of this technology than we even thought possible in the beginning.
Great. Thank you for that. We look across fixed operations, right? Not just at this location, but all your stores. Where are you seeing the impact from a fixed operation perspective?
Yeah, as we look at the fixed operations, EV vehicles coming, and there's a lot of this jargon going on about the percentage of drop-off that's going to happen in our fix. So we're looking for what is that next thing, and it's really behind me, because as a group, we need to find and be more transparent with our customers. And if we're finding wheels and scratches and dents, things that we've really never looked at, and the most important thing is expired tires. In my 37 years, I have never had a technician come to me and say, "Hey, boss, these tires are expired." Right. What are you talking about? My milk's expired. Right. I don't drink it. So it's kind of like this new generation of things that are coming that's going to help us sustain the EV technology. Plus, from what I understand, I hear a rumor that this thing's going to help us even on the EV vehicles as we continue to grow around the group. So this is paramount for our group to continue.
Right.
The collision side was really interesting when I started looking at UVeye about 2 years ago. Collision's the first thing that came to my mind. And when I started talking to UVeye about collision, they kind of looked at me like I wouldn't really thought too much about collision. So they came to town. we walked our process, which is about 42 minutes, by the way. By the time a guest comes in, we walk the car, blueprint the car, circle all the issues on the car. It's about a 40 to 45-minute process. And my thought is, why don't we just drive it through? Let me show all the spots. I don't need to put circles on it. And we cut that down to maybe 10 minutes. So from a productivity standpoint. Plus, again, our human eyes miss things. So as we're circling scratches and dents and dings, we're missing as many as we're finding. So why not be transparent and show exactly all the way around, top and bottom, what is really wrong with the car? And I think the future of what our collision can be with this UVeye is even so much further than that. Because we can't crawl under the car and look and see behind that bumper, and I think this thing can.
I love it, love it. Bart, question for you. Now we're into this post-pandemic of retailing, right? Inventory's coming back and getting back to the old days of retailing. Love to get your perspective on things that you're trying to do and how we're leveraging maybe our technology to help you look to the future for your business.
Again, the gamut is so large, but I'll just use an example on the variable side. We've been talking about fixed the whole time, and that's great. But when you look at the variable side, with inventories increasing, the volume of guests that are coming into the store are a lot more. So we have a lot more of appraisals. So involving UVeye into our appraisal process and being more transparent with the guests on the appraisal process is huge too. So here's a technology that didn't even exist before the pandemic. Now you're introducing it, and you use it with a lot of the other resources that have out there for appraising a car. It just, again, brings further transparency in that realm. And then also when it comes to post-pandemic, Bill has alluded to it. We have got to have a greater focus in on fixed, on those availability of revenue streams that we didn't think about, right? And there's a whole new frontier out there. If you just take your mind out of, well, we've always done it this way. That's probably part of our core values too. If you say anything, well, we've always done it that way, you're going to be ostracized in our environment, right? So in that spirit, we've got to keep on thinking what more is out there. And again, the appraisals is just one little tidbit, but there are so many more that are out there.
Keeping on the theme of trust and transparency, I read the other day in an article, Automotive News, and I know it's not the case here with Tom Wood Automotive, but basically they're saying 70% of customer pay labor leaves a dealership post-warranty on a vehicle. So one thing we promote is trust and transparency. Car drives through, you're getting an inspection within 30 seconds to be able to have that conversation with a customer. Love to get both of your feedback on where you're seeing that play into your group. Has it helped you at all, the evolution of working with customers, retaining customers, and so forth?
One of the things when it comes to transparency with our guests is that we sell the green, right? When multi-point inspections with UVeye, we're selling the green as a process step of yellow and red as part of that multi-point inspection. So I think building that transparency and building that trust, which is the most important thing, begins with selling green. And it's embedded into our DNA and how we conduct ourselves, carry ourselves with our guests. It's because it's always good to sell the positive, but because when you get to those points of yellow and red, you've had the conversation ahead of time and you're talking about budgeting. And when you have a conversation about budgeting with people, it's a lot better conversation. And I don't know if you want to add any more, Bill?
Yeah, and we own an independent repair center as well. So I have kind of the luxury of being on that side and seeing the type of business that comes in those businesses versus what comes in our auto dealerships. And I assure you, the independents aren't running a UVeye system to be as transparent as we are, kind of like what Bart had mentioned. Our goal is to fully expose everything with this little MRI as your car comes through. So we're not hiding anything. And I think some dealer groups and some customers believe that, oh my gosh, I'm going to the dealer, they're going to take advantage of me. When you have a system like this, I think it brings calmness when they really understand, hey, we're just here to show you everything from good and the bad of your vehicle and not try to show you something that you may or may not need, because this is going to spell it out. And that transparency, I think, is key to our continued growth around this type of business.
I think the old rule of thumb, sales will sell the first car, but service is going to sell the next cars, right? So being able to stay in front of your customers and give them that sense of comfort that you're here to partner with them and work with them, right? Anything else I missed? Anything else you want to share before we wrap it up?
I'm as excited about what UVeye is doing today as what it's going to be doing in the coming months. And I love the fact that when a software release comes, I get it. I love the fact that you're thinking about the future and the EVs and some of the things I've heard about that's coming. So keep doing what you're doing. It is a disruptor, but it's an awesome disruptor, and it's exactly, I think, what we've been looking for.
And we appreciate the partnership, really do. Bart, any closing comments?
No, I just emphasize the disruptor, right? I would say that post-pandemic, we kind of brought that up earlier. If you're not thinking and inviting yourself to at least examine the disruptors and what they are bringing to the market and what they're bringing to you and your bottom line, shame on you, because this is the time. This is the time to be doing that evaluation. And we're so happy to have the machine in.
One more thing to say. Just one more thing. So also understanding this is a sales service tool. This isn't a service drive-over, tire check, alignment check machine.
We call it a tool.
100%. You have to really wrap your brain around. It's one thing Bart did very quick, very early, which was awesome for our group, is he says, guys, I can use this front and back. Right. This is a dealership tool, not just a service tool.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, gentlemen, thank you for your time on the follow-up today, and thank you for your partnership and your business, and we look forward to working with you going forward. All right, thanks, guys. Have a great day.